Hello and welcome back to another energy update. This time we are talking about the month of June. I can't believe that we're actually talking about June right now, can you? I still feel like we're in December of last year or January of this year. So the fast pace is continuing. It has been such a buoyant month through May, and let's actually start there if we can. So May was extremely eye-opening for a lot of people. It was chaotic, it was fast-paced. There was a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing showing themselves. We almost had sensory overload during the month of May, and I'm really excited to say to you that this month in June is actually going to be a little bit more grounding and a little bit more about love and just taking a moment to be able to stop and breathe. So before I carry on with the June energy update, please do remember on the 1st of June, I am holding the launch call for my beautiful 12-month program, Self-Love Club membership. Now, if you cannot make the launch call, do not worry about it. We've got you covered. You will get an email into your inbox with the video as soon as it has been downloaded and re-uploaded. So that you can watch it when it is convenient to you. So please do use the link in the description field whereby you can be notified of all the emails that are going to go out. You will get the prices, you will get the details, you will get absolutely everything you need through the email sequence that follow after the event. Now, the doors only stay open for 72 hours, and I mean it. I'm very tough on this. Sometimes people can sweet talk me, but not where this program is concerned. On the 4th of June, which is Saturday at 7:30 p.m, the doors are closed. That's it. There's no more room in the inn. The offers get revoked, and that is the end of it. So please do make sure, if you would like to hear the information on Self-Love Club membership, this is my incredible 12-month program whereby I went on my own healing journey, utilized it for myself for 4 or 5 years, then turned it into a program, and I've got a few years experience of running this with different people around the world, and it has so much success. I cannot even begin to share that with you right now. There will be testimonials on the launch call, and there is plenty of stuff. If you go to my social media channels, there's always stuff filtering through there with people giving their feedback. So let's look at the month of June. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, obviously we are seriously stepping into summer. We've got summer solstice on the 21st of June. So this is really where, we come a bit alive, whereas the Southern Hemisphere are just stepping back into that dormant phase. So please do remember that June is going to be about adventures. June, it doesn't matter where you are around the world, by the way, this applies to everybody. It's not just Northern Hemisphere. June is very much going to be about adventures. And I, for one, can definitely vouch for that. I've got a number of trips booked through June, a lot of speaking gigs and things like that. So adventures are aplenty. We're not to get caught up in the semantics during this month. We are supposed to have fun. We are supposed to be finding the joy in the situation. Like I say, the adventure. There is going to be some peaks and troughs, as always, but we are going to be navigating them with far more ease and grace than we have done before now. Okay, so the main message that they gave me when I channeled this is that we're almost going to be watching June from above. It's going to feel like we are sat on a mountaintop looking down at the energy below. Now, I hope that makes sense to you, but I feel as if we're going to have a much higher vision rather than being in the nitty-gritty, which is very much of what we've been in through the last few months. Particularly 2022 has been very much, we're like wading through the murkiness, as I like to call it. So I feel this month we're going to get it from an elevated perspective. We're going to be able to see, and that's why we are going to be able to be much more calm about it. We're going to be able to take our time over decisions. We're going to be a little bit more courageous with what we are doing. It's going to be a very heart-driven month. Okay, we're going to be able to look at people and understand where people are at with themselves with a whole new level of empathy. And my goodness, do we need it? There is going to be a huge surge of empowerment. And it's quite interesting. I've been speaking to some clients recently, and they've just been saying to me, Lucy, all of a sudden I feel, you know, ready to step up on my own 2 feet. I all of a sudden feel more empowered than I ever have done. That is because this energy that's coming through for June is going to be much more taking responsibility for ourselves, being empowered. Okay, we're going to have a very clear direction of there is no right or wrong, there is no winner or loser. We're not going to be competing around gifts or who's bigger or who's better, who's more connected, because we're getting that higher vision. We've got that overview vision, that empowered vision that actually it's a load of BS and it doesn't exist. It's the paradigm that we have been living in for many, many, many lifetimes that we are starting to shed. And June is going to be the month where we really start to recognize it. Now, when I say we really start to recognize it, I mean the people who are very aware of what's going on. And I don't mean the woke bunch, as people like to call them. I mean the people who have stepped into higher levels of consciousness. There is still a mass awakening taking place, and that's going to keep sweeping through like a whole new energy. But this is, you know, that's going to be continuing, as I said, in in May energy and April energy. This spiritual awakening is going to be taking place, and this awakening is going to be taking place. However, now we are looking at things from a different level. So whilst all of that is going on, we're going to be recognizing, I wasn't right and they weren't wrong, or whatever. I don't need to compete with this person, because actually we're all going to come together and it's going to be extremely powerful. This community that we are creating, once it is in place, once all of us can just shed that competition that we've got. So like I mentioned a second ago, this month is going to see a real upliftment in bravery and courageous behaviour. People are going to be really standing up and stepping into their truth. They're going to be very comfortable articulating what it is they would like and what it is they do not like. They're going to be much more courageous and brave in their conversations with the government and with people that have been attempting to guide them, which is very important. Something else that is a huge shining light for June is that we're going to see all of the false lights that have been attempting to guide us. That is going to be coming more to the surface. Now, I know you guys have been seeing, because I've been getting a lot of messages from you, you've been seeing that starting to take place through May, exactly as was predicted. It's going to be continuing even further. Now, please do not judge yourself when you find out that somebody that you know and you love maybe hasn't been working with the best intentions. Please do not judge yourself. That's old paradigm. Now, already I know, because I can feel the energy in people, they are judging themselves for making the wrong choices. And remember what I said a short time ago, there is no right or wrong. We are here to learn. We are here to remember. We are here to lift the veil even further so that we can gain that clarity. And the only way that we can gain clarity is by going into the murky waters. Sometimes we've got to be very close to people to realize that actually perhaps they're not what they perceive themselves to be to the outside world. That doesn't mean your witchy woo radar was off that day. It just means that you had to be close, because otherwise you probably wouldn't have believed it yourself. Now, do remember that as people are stepping into the lion's den, as they keep telling me the lions, they keep giving me a lion energy through June. So as people are stepping into the lion's den, and maybe you're like, how can you not see what I see? Like, how can you not see that person? Allow them to make their own choices. Allow them to go on their path. They will not appreciate you verbal diarrheaing all over them, saying you shouldn't do that or you should do this. This month is about choices. We must enable and allow people to make their own choices, even if it isn't the choice that you would choose for that person. Okay, this is about bringing the clarity up. Okay, this veil is lifting. Please do remember that. They kept telling me veil is lifting, the veil is lifting. Like, if you're not having really quite intense and vivid dreams right now, it's quite unheard of. Everybody is dreaming a lot at the moment, and the vividness of the dreams is proof that the veil is lifting. June is going to be a month of integration. So we've been through massive catastrophic changes in our cellular level DNA, in our physical being, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. We've been going through catastrophic changes through May and previous months. So the energy of June, whilst we're going through this integration period, is going to be grounding. Make sure that you are grounding. Get out into nature, get out into the sea, get out into, you know, wherever it is where you get your grounding energy from, and breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. It's time for still. It's time for presenteeism. It's time for rest. We are not on quite as fast paced and quite as intense as May. Things are still going to be going fast, please don't get me wrong, but we're not going to be in that am I coming or going, and this frantic wired, that's the word they've just given me, wired. We're not going to be in that wired space. So remember to rest, remember to book a trip, remember to take time out, whatever it is that you need to do. Bring yourself back into alignment and trust that you are exactly where you are needing to be. So like I keep alluding to, May is going to be a much more rejuvenated energy than we have seen in a very long time. It's almost like we have, for any of my clients, they will resonate with this, but for those of you that haven't ever worked with me, I often talk about us having a backpack on, and in that backpack is all of our emotions, and it's heavy, like we've got rocks on our back, you know, it's all the shit that we've had over our lifetimes in our backpack. And most people blame past lives, but it's not, it's this lifetime that most of us have to deal with. So we've got a rejuvenated energy where we've almost ditched the baggage. And maybe there's still a few little rocks in the bag, but we're ready to move on from the old. Now, what they were showing me that looks like is very much a forgiving energy. It's very forgiving of yourself and for others. Now, most people are not prepared to forgive others because of their judgments. Okay, I don't like lies, so I'm not going to forgive you for lying. However, the only person that you are hurting by not forgiving is yourself. So this month is going to be bringing a lot to the surface. You're going to be slapped around, and I know some of you are already experiencing it. You're going to be slapped around significantly, being shown where you are judging, being shown where you are unwilling to forgive. Now remember, and this is speak to your soul right now, remember, if you are judging, if you're judging somebody else, it always starts with judgment of self. And the reason you judge yourself is because you've made some wrong decisions or wrong choices. Now, like I said earlier, nothing is right or wrong. It's all about perception. So now is the time to forgive yourself for being in a lower vibration when you fucked up. Okay? That's how you would recognize it. Oh, but I did it wrong. Oh, but I did this. So just recognize, you know what? I was in a low vibration back then. I'm going to forgive myself for that. And then all of a sudden you will start to feel this urge, this willingness of forgiveness for others around you. We were doing the best we could when we were making all of these judgments. We were doing the best we could. Our parents were doing the best we could, and maybe it wasn't up to our standards. However, we are now choosing to sit in that energy. We've done so much cleansing over the last few months. It is now a choice as to whether you are sitting in that energy. So it's down to you. It's down to you as to whether you want to continue to sit there. I do not. I do not want to sit there. Every time I find anything coming up in myself, I'm constantly asking myself, right, what do you choose from this? Do you want to sit in that? Do you want to drag it on a little bit longer, or are you going to let that go? Because the pain that you create in your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body by clinging on to something, resisting the change, holding on for dear life, it will cause you the next round of trauma. And I don't know about you guys, it's bloody hard work clearing trauma. So why would you choose to sit there? Why would you continue to opt into that? June, no surprise, is about self-love and nurturing. Now, as I mentioned a short time ago, my Self-Love Club membership program always starts on the 1st of June. So it doesn't surprise me that there is this huge wave of love coming through, because that's what we do in the program. Although the people going through month number 1 probably won't feel like that at first. However, they will get that. But it's very much about nurturing love. It's about self-love. It's about recognizing the love that we have within and how we can share that with other people. But we have to start at home first. June is bringing a new version of ourselves. Bringing a new version of ourselves into existence. We are birthing the new earth. It's quite interesting. Some time back, I was going through this very weird phase with my physical body, and I spoke to someone who I trust implicitly. And I said to her, I literally feel like I'm pregnant right now. I literally feel as if I'm giving birth. And she was like, well, you are, Lucy. You're giving birth to new earth. So I just want you to comprehend that this month is where we're really bringing things in. So what is it that you want? How are you going to document this? How are you going to know if you are successful in your mission of what it is that you are trying to create? I would recommend vision boards. I would recommend creating something that shows you what it is, even if it's just written down on a piece of paper. Get it there so we can actually go back and say, yes, I created this. Now, something that's very powerful, and I've been talking about this again for quite some time, but it was something that it gave me very strongly today. We are basically looking to disintegrate all attachments. We are looking to disintegrate any kind of attachment that we've got, whether that be to things. You might find that you're decluttering your home and you're throwing things out and you've had enough of that. You know, you just don't need all this stuff anymore. Likewise, it will be the stuff that we perhaps aren't quite conscious that we're putting in place. So, you know, pedestals, putting people on pedestals, those attachments have to be removed. Nobody should be on a pedestal. You are them and they are you. We are all very equal on this journey. Removing the attachments to the inflated ego. People will all of a sudden be seeing people in a whole new light going, oh, I actually don't resonate with that actually, or I actually don't like that anymore. No, that doesn't work with me. And this is about disintegrating the attachments. We've all got cords and attachments. You know, there's some people that put cords and attachments in you and hooks and whatever, and they don't realize they're doing it, but they do it. So now is the time to be recognizing, if you feel quite a little bit off or something like that, recognize that this is happening. Ask yourself, who have you been around? Who makes you feel good? Who makes you feel drained? Recognize where you're going, actually, wow, I didn't realize that person was like that. Oh God, no, that doesn't quite resonate with me, and actually do something about it. Got a busy month, haven't we? June is still going to be full of ups and downs, okay? However, what we are going to be able to see, because we've got this heightened view of what's going on, we're going to be able to choose to see the good in it as it happens. We're going to be able to say, wow, that could have been a lot worse than it ended up. So actually, do you know what? I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that I didn't have to go through X, Y, and Z. It's time to be choosing gratitude. And if you hear the words I'm saying constantly, it's a choice. If you wake up in a bad mood, you are choosing to be in a bad mood. If you are waking up, you know, and choosing to be lazy, it's a choice of being lazy. And this is something that we need to get our head around. We all have the same choices on a day-to-day basis. We all do. You know, people I know would argue that, but we all have the same choices every day. It's just whether we actually take action on them. Are we learning the lessons that we need to be learning off of the choices that we have made? We can choose gratitude. I choose gratitude. I choose happiness. I choose peace. I choose love every single morning when I wake up. Now, do you think every single morning when I wake up, I feel love and I feel happy and I feel gratitude? No, not always, but I program myself to step into that space. It's a choice. And when we recognize that we own our choices, we are much more able and much more willing to be able to step into that and actually live that. Now, for those of you that aren't on my social media, I have affirmation cards. They're absolutely phenomenal to help rewire and refire your brain. So I'll pop a link to it in the description as well. That just popped in my head. So I'll pop a link to them in my description. If you would like some of the affirmation cards, they're a game changer. It's literally self-talk. So, you know, they're designed for you. I channeled them a few years ago now. So just, if you need some guidance, if you need some help, there is some stuff out there. Trust and surrender were huge words of this month. Now, as you guys know, I love the words trust and surrender. Most of you don't like it because you're like, oh God, what does that even mean? How do I get to that point? This month, it's about trusting ourselves. It's about trusting God or the divine or whatever you call that. It's about trusting that there is a divinely orchestrated plan and it is working in your favor at all times. Now, let's say, for example, you're completely head over heels in love with somebody, but you're just being kept distance from them, or you are, you know, you just can't quite communicate with them effectively or something like that. Trust that you are being kept back because something better is coming along. Trust it. Release the control of knowing. Okay, everything is a choice. Our choices have got us here. If you were meant to be with that person, you would be with that person. If you were supposed to be in a different country, you guys know I often fight with the fact that I should be in Australia. If I was supposed to be there, I would be there. It's as simple as that. We must remember that we chose this lifetime to learn these lessons. So how about we surrender and just let those lessons come through? The quicker we let the lessons come through, the quicker we can remove ourselves from the shackles and we can call in whoever it is or whatever it is that's going to take us on our next part of our healing journey. Discernment, discernment, discernment. Please, please, please use your discernment this month. Please use your discernment. Do not question it. Do not fight it. Do not think, oh yeah, but I really like that person, so I'm just going to go along with it. Trust your discernment implicitly. You know in your physical body when something doesn't feel right. Some of you will get a flush up your neck. Some of you, your cheeks will go. Some of you, your throat will feel like you're being strangled. Like some of you, your hands will get really hot. Like all sorts of different things. Figure out what it is when your intuition is kicking in and working and giving you guidance. Figure out what that is and then trust it. Trust it. More and more people through June are going to recognize that energy is a real thing. So again, this is part of the spiritual awakening. It's the awakening journey that we're on. Read the energy. Trust the energy. A lot of people are going to recognize that they were trusting on a superficial level previously, trusting things like words rather than action or the actual energy. And you know, I meet complete strangers and they say to me, oh my God, Lucy, I love you so much. And I'm like, how do you know that? Well, I can feel your energy. Good job. We're all energetic beings. So it's about us elevating in that energy and trusting that we are making the right choices based on the lessons that we are looking to have here. A lot of embarrassment is going to surface this month. There's going to be a lot of embarrassment when people go, oh my God, I was really nasty to that person and I backed that person and actually that person's not who we thought. Don't worry about being embarrassed. Don't worry about being caught up in those old emotions. It's the old paradigm. It's the darkness working through you. Forgive at every level. It takes a very, very, very brave, strong person to be able to say, do you know what? I forgive myself. I forgive myself for making the wrong choice. And that's all it takes. It's choosing to forgive and moving forwards. We've done so much in the past few months of the healing and the dark depths of the dark night of the soul and things like that. Every single one of us have been fooled. Every single one of us, myself included massively, even this year, 2022. We were doing the best that we could. We had to learn. We had our own path that we needed to go on. It's very important that we recognize that path. And it's even more important that now we go, I'm choosing to forgive myself, and we literally let it go. We are not here to be stuck anymore. We are here to rise up. We are here to step into our energy body. We are here to love each other. We're here to go on this beautiful, beautiful, courageous journey together. June is going to be a powerhouse of a month. A powerhouse of a month. I've been shown a lot of work that I need to do when I'm out of the country. It's going to be a powerhouse of the month. So please do trust that you are exactly where you need to be. And let me know if there is anything else in the comments below, if you feel that there is some stuff that I haven't covered off today that you're feeling or you're picking up for the June energy update. I hope you found this video useful. I know some of you guys absolutely love the energy update, so I hope you find this useful. I'm going to link back to a video that Charlie Ward and I did a few days ago, and I hope that you enjoy that. It was a really, really beautiful, conscious conversation that I think some of you will like. Okay, guys, I'll see some of you on the call on the 1st of June, and to everybody else, I will catch up with you super soon. Lots of love, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.